we are representing the entire business community here, not just our membership, even though our members are very important. We are advocating for a healthy business climate for everybody to thrive in.
Welcome to United We Podcast, the official podcast of the United Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce, the only chamber podcast in South Texas. I'm your host, Al Ariola Jr., and we're here to explore the latest business insights, community stories, and opportunities shaping the Coastal Bend. Whether you're a business owner or just passionate about our region, you're in the right place. Welcome back, Chamber family and friends, to United We Podcast. Today we are joined by our VP of Advocacy, Miss Ginny Cross. Ginny, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Al, for having me.
You have little to no choice, though, right? You work here.
That's also true.
That's also true. Well, look, why we have you on is we have an upcoming delegation trip, but I do want to give folks some historical context on our efforts. Is we're headed to D.C. on our annual CB to D.C. trip.
Correct.
Can you give our friends in the audience a little context of kind of just the overall effort, what we've done historically, how we've partnered with chambers in the region, wherever you want to go with this?
Absolutely. So CB to DC is our opportunity to tell the story of the Coastal Bend to our elected officials in Washington, D.C. And historically, we've tried to rally our neighbors on the other side of the bridge to join us in Washington. And usually we're fairly successful at bringing a good group of folks. Mm-hmm. And it's a good time for us to interact with electeds, but we also get to spend a lot of time with each other. So right. It's a great networking opportunity to really get to know the people who are trying to make a difference in this community.
And you brought up years past. So typically we have around 30 folks join us. It's usually good government partners that are joining us as well. Mm-hmm. The city of Corpus, the port, the county, RTA. Our partners. This year, it looks like we already have close to 50 registered and signed up, and we've taken a different approach on our issue teams that are going to kind of tackle the Capitol. You mentioned the camaraderie and networking opportunities, too, is that we have a welcome reception that we're setting up at our host hotel. We have a nice Capitol reception that will help to engage our Texas delegation and engaging with us there and networking and connecting. Every year, we identify priorities, mm-hmm. and that's what we're working through currently. With our partners, excuse me, before we head up there, we're headed there September 14th. We've been working through our issue team process. They've been submitting their priorities. They're working through their meetings. It's a different approach than we've traditionally taken, and it seems to be being pretty well embraced by our board, our volunteer leadership. More folks seem to say, this is a space or a place that I want to get involved. Am I misinterpreting that so far?
I don't think so. I think people have been very receptive to the team's ideas, and I think we've have a really good variety of people on this trip. I'm very pleased with the amount of both large and small business people that have signed up to go. So that always helps kind of round it out. Like you said, a lot of our government partners are very comfortable in this space, but maybe some of our business folks, this right. might be a new experience for them. So I think overall it's really good. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be some work. It's going to be some walking, because that's what you do in D.C. is you walk a lot.
A lot, yeah.
But then we're going to have some fun, too, and I'm excited about that.
Well, and look, I'm glad you brought that up about the approach, is that there are government partners that they go on a regular basis, and they have to meet, and they have to communicate their needs and wants. And so they're pretty well versed on process, they're pretty well versed on where to ask, how to ask, who to ask. But in many ways, by and large, it's almost expected. So when an elected official sees a government agency say, hey, I want this, I need this, they'll embrace it and they'll see how they can be helpful. But there's a whole different conversation to be had when they're hearing that from private citizens saying,
right.
I need my government needs this, my government needs that, or my port needs this, my port needs that. And not directly from the horse's mouth, but from somebody that believes in their mission just the same.
Right. And somebody whose livelihood might be directly impacted by decisions being made.
Their business, their business practices. Well, and like, excuse me, every year we go and we speak in the space of regulatory reform. We go and speak on our air quality. I think that's something that, shout out Sharon, that does very well. What else do you think we've done pretty well in the past?
Military advocacy.
Yeah.
We are have really built a good rapport with partners at the Pentagon and on the Hill to advocate for the needs of our military bases. It's, oftentimes we hear, yeah, we know, can't do anything about it right now. But sometimes, there's opportunities, and knowing that they can reach out to us as well as us talking to them, we can make incremental progress. It's always not exciting, but it's still important.
And why I'm going to touch on this too about our going and our different approach this year is that certainly we can go and connect with our Texas delegation that we know well, and we can honestly call while we're here in the district. I know we can confidently say we can call Congressman Cloud today, and he would probably return our call regarding a concern. Right now, and I think this is what we're excited about, is our approach going into this year is we need to make new friends. We need to make friends not only in the state of Texas, but across the country. Many of our colleagues and chamber colleagues in different parts of the country are faced with similar challenges. Give you an example, too, the Army Depot caucus. That we have an Army Depot. There are several communities across the country that have Army Depots. We probably have some similar wants and needs or concerns that, again, once we connect with outside our own delegation, that maybe we can figure out some solutions together.
It's a depot, not a depot.
Yeah. Well,
Depots are
can
for
you stick to the subject?
Couldn't resist. Couldn't resist.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like that's a great example. Is the depot caucus.
Depot.
Sorry. No, you're right. And there are definitely different depots that work on different sort of equipment for our armed services. And if we can all band together and, talk about how important they are, that's definitely a benefit.
Well, look, we can get real wonky on the policy stuff. I know we can dive in deep into the weeds on some of the stuff that we're currently working on, that we plan on working on. But on the fun side of things, do you have a fond memory that we can share from any of the DC trips? I mean, you've been with the organization for a while.
Done actually, I think the last trip where Congressman Cloud gave us the tour of the Capitol, that was pretty special. And nobody had ever done that for us before.
That was very special, and shout out Congressman Cloud for that. He, and for the folks that don't know, is he did a nighttime tour for our folks that wanted to participate, that were joining us on the delegation trip. And when I say he literally led the tour throughout the Capitol. He was showing us the sites, the monuments, the different significant spaces in the Capitol.
And like little known facts.
Tiny known facts that I didn't even know, like where there was bullet holes from some scenario or situation, and some other stuff that I was.
And he was very knowledgeable and very animated about it.
That's what was the most endearing about Congressman Cloud was you saw the passion. You saw it was almost like a kid in a candy store that he was just so happy to share. Look at this and look at this. And so yes, Congressman Cloud, thank you for your hospitality. I'm pretty sure he's going to be more than accommodating for our delegation when we're headed up there again in September. Also, to our senators, they've always been amenable and helpful to meet with us, especially in the context of the military, especially in the context of infrastructure. I know right now water is certainly something our community is very much talking about, and I think and I hope that we can present a very formal idea of where we're headed, so that we can continue to lobby for or advocate for grants or funding opportunities that, again, can maybe help us solve this crisis, the situation that we're in.
Even some relief in the regulatory space would be helpful.
Right. Well, look, everybody in the audience, if you're interested in joining us for CB to DC, I encourage you to check out our website, unitedcorpuschristi.org/CB-2-DC. It's clickable. Just go online and you can find it. We will be closing registrations here shortly, but I do encourage you to check it out and or share your concerns. That's another thing that I want to remind the membership of is if you can't join the trip, that doesn't mean you won't be represented. You will be well represented if you share your concerns, you share your thoughts. Let us know how federal regulations, how federal concerns and or tariffs and or anything that you believe might be affecting your business. We'd love to hear from you. We need to hear from you. And so, yes, the door is open for that. And please contact our VP of Advocacy, Miss Ginny Cross. She's available at ginny@unitedcorpuschristi.org. Ginny, we're going to wrap up here. Is there anything you want to add or remind folks that I might have missed or forgot?
Maybe just to piggyback on what you just said is that we are representing the entire business community here, not just our membership, even though our members are very important. We are advocating for a healthy business climate for everybody to thrive in.
Well, you know that saying, it's 10% of the people do 90% of the work. It is that 10% that the membership, our membership in the market, that continues to invest in us, continues to advocate for us just the same as we advocate for them. And so I want to thank all our audience for joining us. I especially want to thank our members for their investment in your Chamber of Commerce. And we will see you again next time.